All right, so you get yourself comfortable lying down. Remember, you don't have to be absolutely flat. You could have your legs bent. And the theme as we did last week is with this idea of twisting the spine. It's this, if you think about wringing out a dishcloth, that wringing action, twisting one way and then the other at the same time. So neck, shoulders, hips, lower back going the other way. We're building up to that through a series of poses on the ground. Might do some of them standing as well, see how we do for time. But this can be done in a very subtle way. So it's the idea of wringing out the main energy center that runs up the spine. It's called Sushumna Nadi. So you could begin this process just by, if you just feel the back of your head into the mat, tuck your chin in a little bit, and you could actively squeeze your chin down in towards your throat. That's it, press it down to lengthen the back of the neck. And then relax the squeeze, so you squeeze in and then soften that pressure. But you've still got the chin tucked in slightly, and that gives that elongation to the back of the neck. And if you were feeling that you're quite sort of round shouldered and you feel that your head's tipping up, your chin's tipping up, you could always put a cushion or a yoga block or folded blanket underneath the back of your head to create that tilt. And then as you lie down for a period of time, then you may notice that the shoulders start to open and sink down as the pecs, the muscles at the front of the chest start to stretch and release. So begin by just connecting with your breath. And then start to move your head at the same rate at your breath. So long exhale is what we're aiming for as you roll your head over to one side. And your breath in brings your head back to the center. Nice and slow. Just exhale, head over. And inhale, bring your head back to center. That's it. Taking your time, head heavy, rolling your head from side to side. Okay, so next time your head goes over to the left, hold it over there. Pressing your nose and chin over to the left, you pick up your left hand and use your left hand to massage the right shoulder. So that's it, so it goes over and at a diagonal, nose pressing over, and then use your hand to squish and press and rub the shoulder. That's it, so you're pushing, pressing, and you can use the pads of the fingers to do little circles, massage round. Lovely. This left hand to right shoulder, and you're still pressing your nose over to the left. And depending on what you've been doing, maybe your arms feel that they could do with a bit of TLC as well. So you could brush down the arms, you could come to the hands, you could do a little big squeezing. Nice, good. And then lighten your touch and just gently stroke the neck. Okay, and then taking the hands away, brush it across the front of the chest, release it down, roll the head in the other direction. Now your nose over to the right, pressing the nose and chin over to the right. Pick up the right hand and off you go, using that sense of touch to squeeze, press, massage. Starting with the head of the shoulder, so that big deltoid muscle that cups the shoulder. And then you come up along to the neck, doing little pads, circling with the fingers. Maybe stroking down the arm, the wrists of the hands. Nurturing, enjoying that sense of touch and holding. And then coming back up to the neck and getting lighter, and then just start to lightly smooth, lightly stroke the neck. And then lighten your touch some more. And then as you release, you are lightening, and then bringing the hand across the front, across the chest, and then release your arm down. Bring your head back to the center. And then if you haven't got your legs bent, draw them up, feet flat on the floor. Okay, so our first little twist for the lower back is the small one where we just go a little from side to side. So you're dropping your knees over about 6 inches to the left. Doesn't matter if you started the other way, so drop over just that short way. And then inhale, come back to center. Exhale, knees over to the right, just 6 inches, don't go any further. Inhale, come back to center. So if you're able to just keep to this small rocking from side to side, you can, with the small movements, there's very little effort needed in the legs. So you can keep your legs very heavy. You can flop from side to side, and you can use the weight of the legs just to massage into the back of the pelvis, into the side of the hip as you just roll that little way over. So this simple movement is more than the sum of its parts. It's more than just the beginning of a twist. You're using it as a way of massaging and easing into the back of the hips and pelvis. Nice. Fabulous, good. So let's start with this double twisting action. So think about that ringing action of like you're holding your dishcloth and you're ringing with both hands, one twist clockwise, one twist anti-clockwise. So translating that to the spinal cord, just staying with that small movement with the knees. Knees left, head rolls right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, knees right, head left. Just going that small distance. Keeping the legs heavy, the shoulders relaxed, and the head flopping from side to side. We've already done a bit of movement for the neck, so perhaps it feels okay to go all the way over. But when we're thinking about that twist in the lower back, you're keeping the movement small with your legs, even if you're really capable of dropping the legs all the way over. If you're very flexible, I want you to keep it small. Great, looking good. Finish on the right side. And then bring your head back to the center. Let's just open up the shoulders a little bit. So if you cross your arms across the front of the body, thumbs, index finger hooking into the crease of the elbows, make sure you've got space above your head, just checking your space around you, those of you at home on Zoom, and you're drawing your forearms up and over your head. That's your inhalation. Stretch and reach up, pull up through the elbows, that's it. Exhale, pull the forearms back down again. Inhale, stretch up and away. Reach the elbows up, stretch up. Feel that lift out of the waist and rib cage. Exhale, slowly lower down. Breathing in, draw the forearms up and away, reach away. Exhale, forearms. That's it, coming down. So as you breathe in, as we said, we're feeling that reach and lift up through the waist and the rib cage and through the underarm. And as you breathe out, as you pull your forearms down, pull the shoulders down. So you feel the shoulder blades kind of slide down your mat. Elbows pulling towards the hips. Breathing in, lifting up and away. Exhale, forearms back down. Okay, last one. And then finish with the arms above the head. Slide your hands down the forearms until you can interlace your fingers and then pop your head in your interlaced hands. So your hands are holding your head. So a few rounds of our yoga sit-ups. So check out the hand position. So you have your fingers interlaced and you have your thumbs extending down your neck, elbows wide. So that holds and supports the back of your neck like so. Drop your shoulders down away from your ears, and then with your feet flat on the floor, as you exhale, draw up on your pelvic floor, draw your abdominal muscles up and in, and lift your heart and your head just a little. And then inhale, lower back down again. So we're doing 3 rounds of 8, so you know how to pace yourself. So exhale, pull up, pelvic floor, draw your lower abs in, lift the heart. Inhale, lower back down again. Exhale, squeeze, draw up, that's it. Inhale, lower back down. Fabulous. So there's the locks in the pelvic floor and the abdominal muscles, they are called your bandhas. And you're drawing those locks up and in, squeezing them in, sucking the lower rib cage in. The heart lifts, try and keep your shoulders relaxed, jawline soft. Very good. That's about 8. So if you let yourself come back down and come into any position that eases for you. So you might want to take your hands away and have a big stretch up, slide the legs out, point the toes. You might want to just keep the hands as they are and just do that little rocking of the knees from side to side, just getting that small distance again to ease the back of the hips. Or you might want to bring your knees into your chest and squeeze. Or maybe a combination. Please rest at any point. We'll do a second round now. If you'd like to go work a little bit harder, you're going to lift the legs, cross at your ankles, squeeze the legs together. The hand position behind the back of your head is exactly the same. Chin up, look straight up or look a little bit behind you. As you exhale, lift the heart, press the heels up, squeeze. And as you inhale, lower down and maybe send your heels a little bit away from your heart to add on a little bit more effort. It's exhale, push up, press up. Inhale, head down, heels away. Or feet on the ground, or you could just rest. That's it. Lovely. That's it. When you've done 8, then resting. Easing out, perhaps back into that full body stretch. Or maybe just rocking the knees from side to side. Okay. Third round. Once again, you can rest. You could go back to that first one with the feet on the floor, just lifting the heart, just do a few, just so you're creating a little bit of heat there. Or the second version was with the heels up, crossing at the ankles, push and press up. Third version, if you want to really push it, you come into Navasana. So you start off in the full body stretch, reaching the fingers out, toes away. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, low boat pose. Inhale, come up, open. Exhale, low boat. So it's difficult to talk and do it at the same time. Good, it's great to see you all doing different things. Good. So if you have the ankles crossed, you're pushing your heels up, pressing the heels up to the ceiling. So drive the heels up. Pull up pelvic floor, draw the abs in. Those of you coming into boat pose, sucking the lower rib cage in, drawing up in those bandhas, so pelvic floor and your abdominal muscles. Amazing, good, looking strong, all of you. Well done. Okay, and rest, rest, rest. Draw your knees into your chest and have your hands behind the back of your thighs so it's not too strenuous on your knees. Squeeze the legs in, lock the legs together. And with your legs curling up as deep as you can in towards your chest, can you feel that pressure in your abdomen? And if you breathe and press into your abdomen, it starts to soothe and ease your abdominal muscles after all that effort. You do a little bit of rocking from side to side, and for this one I like to squeeze the knees in as close as I can, so that takes the stretch and massage up to the mid back, and then you release the pressure, still rocking from side to side, so it zigzags that pressure down towards the tailbone as the knees go away, and you zigzag back up and in as you squeeze the knees into your chest and then rock away. So you're rocking side to side, knees in, knees out. Okay, so keep your knees tucked in. Bring your arms either out to the side or interlace your fingers behind the back of your head again. Elbows wide. Relax your shoulders down, whichever you've chosen to do. Keep the knees squeezing up and in. And then as you exhale, drop your knees over to the left, just pausing at the halfway point. Right shoulder stays down on the ground. That's it. And now inhale, pull up on your pelvic floor, draw your abs in and suck the legs back to the center. Exhale, over the other way. And inhale, drawing up and then come back to the center. Exhale, over. Inhale, pull up on the pelvic floor, draw the abs in to suck the knees back to the center point. So try and keep your knees together, don't let the legs slide apart, that's it. Inhale, draw up and in. And if you want to add on a double twist here, so as your knees go over to one side, the head goes the other way. Squeeze, head center, knee center. Exhale, over you go. Inhale, back to center. Last round. You started on the left, so you're finishing on the right. And then spend a moment just relaxing those muscles, relax the feet if they've tensed. Hands back into position around the legs. And maybe try the little circling action of the knees. So you just circle the knees round. One way, then the other, just easing into the back of the pelvis. Lovely. Nurturing the back of the pelvis and the abdominal muscles and the lower back with a little bit of rocking movement. Okay, so feet on the ground. This next twist, all the other ones have been working on strength. Now we're working on a bit more mobility. So you want space around you so you can fold over into the space and let gravity pull you down. So you're dropping down into the space to your left and your right. So have your feet hip width apart or wider if you're more flexible and if it feels okay. Arms out wide. I like to have mine out 45-degree angle, and I find it helps to open my chest to have my palms facing up. As you breathe out, drop your knees over to the left, legs heavy, and this time we are encouraging the legs to drop down as far as possible, so you can feel that stretch across the front of the quad on the right side, maybe the inner thigh on the left side, and maybe the outer hip, and your head looks over the right shoulder. And then to come back up, push your feet into your mat, squeeze your glutes so you've got some strength to bring your legs back up to the center line. That's it. Exhale, go over the other way, using the weight of the legs. Perfect. Drop over, and you have a sharp contrast between one side and the other. How does this side feel to the right? Press into the feet, squeeze your glutes, inhale, come back up to the center. Very simple. So I'll leave you to it to go at your own pace, using gravity to pull you over, to assist with the stretch and opening, head going in the opposite direction to the knees. Inhale, knee center, head center. Take your time, work at your own pace with your own breath dictating the rhythm. Lovely. And as you ease into it, you might find that you can open the legs a little bit wider, left to right, so that you will increase the stretch through the front of the hip. And make this last one. Finish on the right side. And then come back to the center. Take your time. Just settling after the movements and noticing how you feel. Do you feel the need to squeeze and bring the knees in and stretch? Okay. So coming into a full body stretch, we're moving into through a pose called Apanasa. You're all very familiar with this. So you can extend the toes, reach the arms up and away, as much length as you possibly can in your full body stretch. So if you're bumping into any of your gear, any of your belongings, just slide it out the way. big stretch. And then exhale, float the arms down. And at the same time, you pick up the right leg, squeeze the right knee in towards your chest, and maybe you curl your head up towards the knee as well. Breathing in, come back into your full body stretch, open fingers and toes. Exhale, float the arms down, head in, knee in, squeeze. Alternating legs. Very simple. Things that are happening here are stretch through the hip flexor, the glute, lower back on that one side. And then you can enjoy exploring the opposite as you draw the other leg in. How does that feel? You're using the squeezing in action of the thigh into the abdomen, pushing up onto the diaphragm to press out any stale air at the bottom of the lungs. So keep going. So to assist with digestion, so you always start with the right side with the ascending colon. And then move on to descending colon with the left leg, squeezing in, pressing in. If you were to do any pose first thing in the morning, getting out of bed, this is a good one to get your inner fire going, get your digestive system fired up. So we'll finish on the left side. And then we'll pick up the right leg and use that squeeze of the knees and the little bobbing in and out of the knees into the chest to eventually rock yourself up to sitting. You might want to sit on a few blocks for some seated twists. You might be fine on the floor. I'm just going to go and grab my blocks from my little cupboard. Okay, so I'll show you what we're doing. Legs are out straight, you see me. And then you're sliding in your right leg and crossing your right leg over the left. Facing the knee, squeeze the leg in nice and tight, hold. So the reason why you would use a block is if you draw yourself in like so, and then you notice that you start to round, you want to try and get as much length in the hamstrings as possible. So that's when a block underneath the hips can help tilt the pelvis forward. So you can come all the way up on a couple of blocks. That helps tilt forwards so you can get that same action. So you're squeezing in, roll the shoulders back, lift up through the top of the head. So you've got your right hand squeezing and holding the right leg, lift up, lovely. And then bring your left hand behind you. Yeah, no, you can't reach. So left hand squeezes round, keep a tight hold of the right leg. You can even, I like to hook my elbow into the knee to squeeze in, drawing up, lift up. The straight leg, you're pushing out through the heel. That's it. Pull the left shoulder back. Feel the length of your spine lift up through the top of your head as you inhale. And then exhale, squeeze yourself further round. Breathing in, lift up. Exhale, squeeze round. See if you can just do a little loosening of your jaw, just some little circles with your chin. Rocking your jaw from side to side and drop your shoulders. That's it. Squeeze round. Okay, another nice stretch for the neck while we're holding around this way. So you're still turning to the left. You then drop your right ear down towards the right shoulder. You're stretching the neck. That's it. Lovely. Head really heavy. Just like we were doing those lying twists on the floor, you're using gravity to stretch the neck. The weight of your head pulls over. And then you can drop your nose down to your underarm, hang the head down to take the stretch further to the back of the neck. Lovely. And then lift your head and bring yourself all the way back round for the other side. So, right leg is straight, left leg in and over, facing your knee, grab a hold of the leg, squeeze it in. I like to use my elbow, hold tight. Before you twist, you're feeling the stretch down the outside of the left leg. And then you bring your right hand behind you. Lift up through the top of your head, pull the right shoulder back, squeeze round to your right. Try and keep the spine as long as possible, lifting up through the top of the head. Squeezing round. And then with your head looking behind, you then drop your left ear to the left shoulder. So you're still twisting to your right. That's it. Drop the head over. Feel the heaviness of the head. We're using that to our advantage to stretch the neck. And then drop your chin down towards your underarm. Stretch the back of the neck. And then slowly lift up and untangle your legs. Okay, next pose, Rishi pose. So you are turning, sending your toes out to the right. So you have your left foot, the arch of your left foot tucked underneath your right shin. I'll do it side on so it's obvious so you can see. Take my socks off. So you tuck under like so. And then you're turning your chest to face your left knee. Bring your fingers behind you. Roll your shoulders back. Lift up through the heart, lift the chin. So you have a back bend. That's it, lovely. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Lift the heart. Breathe here. Okay, and chin tucks in. Soften, relax. Same position with your legs, but we add on a twist. So you bring your hands at a diagonal across. So your right hand to your left knee. That's it. Bring your left hand further around behind you. So you're turning. And then lift your heart again. Roll your shoulders back. Lift the chin. So you're using the lift and the arching back to pull the weight out of your lower back. Pull that left shoulder further round. Lift the heart. Lift the chin. Squeeze the shoulder round. Rishi pose. Gorgeous, these look great. Lovely. Lift, lift, lift. Squeeze a little further. Last few breaths. Gorgeous. Exhale, release and soften. Oh, look really good. Same on the other side. So just swing your legs around, feet around, other way. So you're tucking your right foot underneath the left shin. Maybe feet a little bit further out, Heather. Okay. So first one is the back bend. So your chest faces your right knee. Fingers come behind. If you want to do a nice shoulder opener, you could try this. So your chest is facing the knee, fingers in front, and then you bring the arms up one at a time, up and over and down, up, over and down. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift the heart, lift the chin, leaning back, pulling up out of your lower back. Big, deep breaths into your heart space. And release and soften. Bring the left arm forward so the left hand can come onto the right knee. Diagonal, that's it. So you use the hand to push down. Roll the right shoulder back. Maybe you can creep the fingers further round behind you because that guides you into the twist. You then lift the heart. That's it, lovely. This looks so elegant. Chin up, breathe and smile. This makes it really happy, this Rishi pose. So uplifting. A wonderful twist. And then soften and release. Swing yourself around so that you're on all fours. And either cat pose, rounding, hollowing, etc., or you might prefer to have your back flat, look straight down, and then just rock your hips backwards, crown of the head forwards. Rocking backwards, crown of the head forwards, just to ease the back after that very strong twist and back bend. So if you're doing this rocking backwards and forwards, remember to keep hold of your bandhas. So Uddiyana, lower abdominal muscles especially, are drawing up and in to hold you and support you. Great. Okay, so make your way up to standing. I don't mind how you get there. Maybe you want to tuck your toes under, push through your hands, come up into downward facing dog. And then step your feet to your hands to your feet, and then slowly roll up to standing. We'll eventually be coming into, we're doing various poses and eventually coming into tree pose. You might want to get yourself close to a wall. So just my camera here. Cool. So you can use the wall to help you with your balance. First one, mountain pose. So there's different types of Tadasanas, mountain poses. Tadasana 1, arms down by your side, palms down, and you squeeze the legs together. This is definitely from a very kind of Iyengar standpoint. Everything is strong, squeezing, lifting up, drawing up and in. You're very much focused on the physical and squeezing evenly through both sides, pressing the inner thighs together, ankles together, glutes, outer hips, squeezing in, abs engaged, chin tucks in. Strong arms down by your side, really stretching the fingers down. It said that if you keep the fingers, the hands really alert, it helps stimulate and wake up the mind. Chin in, lift it through the top of the head. And then you go back down to the feet, pressing down evenly through the feet, ankles, inner thighs, glutes, outer hips, abs, top of the head, etc. Tadasana 2, hands to your heart. Inhale, lift up, fingers, palms together, fingers point away. Pressing through the heels, balls of the feet, stretch up, lift up, squeeze. Exhale, release, hands come down. Have your feet a little bit wider apart, checking that your toes are facing forwards. We're coming up into a balance. So this time, backs of your hands facing front. Fire up your quads. even through both feet, Tadasana. Inhale, draw your arms up and away. Stretch high. Exhale, float your arms round and down. Now we're coming up onto the balls of the feet, spreading the toes. Breathing in, lift up, rise, maybe a little way, maybe higher. Try and press your ankles forward so you don't wobble around too much. Good. Exhale, slowly lower down. Again, well done. Good, nice and steady, well done. Exhale, lower down. Last one. Maybe hold for a little longer. So sometimes it's better not to lift as high. Super, exhale, come all the way down, down, down. Okay, drawing up, arms up, lift up. Palms together. Bring the hands to the top of the head. Roll the shoulders back and down, fingertips pointing up. Slowly come up again. Heels up, lift, 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 squeeze the glutes. Now bring the palms up, straighten the arms, good. Exhale, lower the heels down, kick your hands where they are, so you get that stretch. Hands up, that's it. And just gently push the hips in one direction, hands go in the other direction. Maybe use the bottom hand to hold the top wrist, or you can just enjoy the comfort of the hands touching each other, press away. Breathing in, come back up, lengthen, lift. Exhale, go the other way. Maybe bottom hands, top wrist connect, the palms stay together. Well done. Inhale, come all the way up, lift. Exhale, float the arms down. Maybe roll the shoulders, shake out, can be quite strenuous. Okay, so hands onto your hips. Bring up your right leg. This is where you might want a wall close to you. So bringing up the right leg, pressing through the left, draw up. Wall to the side, that's it. Maybe straighten the leg. Maybe arms here. Maybe arms up. Hands onto your hips. Bring the toe down in front of you. Slide the foot behind you. Point your toes out behind. So all your weight's in your left leg, light on the toes behind you. Lift up and then start to tip forwards. And here, if you've got a wall next to you, you can forget about the balance and use your hands on the wall as you come into Warrior Three. Good, inhale, come up. Give the knee a little squeeze in. Keep your hands on the wall for balance if you want to. And then open your leg out to the side. And then place the foot into tree pose. Planting the foot into the inner thigh, squeezing the inner thigh into the foot, press in. You can keep your hands on the wall, hands to the heart. Any of those options, hands above the head. That one's nice with the hands just at the crown of the head here, or reach away, squeezing the outer hip in so the inner thigh and the foot are sandwiched together. Well done, and release and soften. Okay, let's do the same on the other side. So you might want to turn around so you have the wall on the other side if you want to, or stay looking at me. Okay, so we'll begin with feet hip width apart, toes facing forwards. When you're ready, lift the leg. Coming up with the knee, with the legs, leg bent first of all. Hold, hands onto the hips. Stay there. Or maybe straighten the leg, pointing the toe, even if it's just a little off the ground. Arms in front. Maybe arms up. Lovely. And then sweep the toe down and then behind you. Hands can be on your hips, or you keep tipping forwards, extending the fingers forwards, coming into warrior three. Use the wall or back of a chair or any piece of furniture you have at home to fold forwards or grab a hold of that windowsill. Yeah. Nice, lovely. And then guide the leg back in. We bring that leg straight back up and in, give it a hug, squeezing into the hip flexor. Then open your knee out to the side. And then tree pose, Vikrasana. Sandwiching the foot into the thigh, thigh into the foot. Hands at the heart. Or use a wall for one hand. Careful. And then maybe hands change that position. Up, lift, open. Hands on hips. Well done. Down you come. Okay, walking back to your mat. Maybe shake out the legs. Ease the ankles. And then bring yourself down onto the ground. Put on your socks and get your extra layers on to prepare to take some rest. I'll get ready to do cold breeze. Yeah. So back down onto the floor, get yourself comfortable. You could always have the legs bent. You could put a block underneath your hips to take compression out of your lower back. You just place the block on the back of the pelvis. You could put a chair underneath your calves if you lift the legs like so. Pop a chair there. I'll turn off those very bright lights as well. So let yourself settle down. Finding a position where you are able to feel comfortable and to rest at ease. So after all the movement, enjoy the contrast of being still once you've settled. Let yourself go. Feel the comforts of the props if you're using them. Trust in the earth, trust in the supports, and let yourself go. So sometimes we have a feeling when we're coming into this relaxation of being held, of being captured by the earth. And we go from day to day, constantly moving, and then eventually we stop, find a little moment to rest, such as this in your yoga practice, and you pause and you stop. Feel yourself being captured, or maybe have a sensation of kind of landing and softening into the earth. Notice the very soft, subtle movement of your breath. Feeling it at the navel, lifting and lowering. Maybe feeling the subtle movements at your waist. In your lower back. Feeling a little movement at your heart. In your side ribs and in your mid back. And then just notice the gentle passing of your breath through your nostrils. No need to alter the breath, just observe. Breath in, breath out. And then using this softness that you feel in the breath, kind of feel like a softness that holds the whole of you, that envelops the whole of you. From the toes to the soles of the feet, the ankles, tops of your feet, your calves, shins, back of the knee, the kneecap. The thighs, the back of the thighs, inner thighs, front of the thighs, the sides, into the hips, bottom, the lower back, middle of the back, upper back, the whole of the spine, the lower abdomen, navel, solar plexus, heart, the chest, feeling that calm spread to the underarms, down the arms and shoulders to the elbows, the forearms, the wrists, the palms of your hands, the backs of your hands, your thumbs, your fingers, around the neck, front, sides, back of the neck, your jawline, cheekbone, forehead, muscles around the eyes, muscles around the mouth, muscles of your scalp. So feel the whole of you enveloped in this calm and peace. Tonight is a full moon. The full moon in November is called the Beaver Moon. perhaps picturing this beautiful full moon shining above you. And those calm, soothing moonbeams start to wash over you, sending the peace and stillness down through the body. From the top of the head, down through the forehead, temples, over the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the mouth, jawline, the chin, down through the neck, front, sides, back, shoulders, down the arms, wrists, hands, fingers, down through the chest, navel, lower abdomen, upper back, mid, lower back. Calmness spreads down through the bottom, down the legs, thighs, knees, lower legs, ankles, feet, and out through the toes. So you feel yourself bathing in moonlight. Calm, soft, feminine energy of the full moon. So those of you on Zoom at home, if you want to stay for longer, please do. Those of you in the room, when you're ready, coming up to sitting. Hands to your heart. And take a breath in, sweep your arms up and away. And exhale, hands at your heart space. And you just bow your forehead to your fingertips. Inhale, lift the head, placing one hand on top of the other at your heart. Push your hands into the heart space. Take a deep breath into your hands. With deep love and respect, I honor my heart, my inner teacher. Take another big breath into your heart. With deep love and respect, I honor my heart, my inner teacher. Namaste. Thank you for being here and thank you for being there on Zoom. I'm just going to stop the recording.